Every story has an ending. Does our quest to play the top 100 courses in 10 years have a good ending? This is the Top 110 Golf Podcast. Episode 1. The Setup. A wise man once told me, your golf swing is about the setup. And that's what today's episode is all about. Now we all know all good stories have a beginning. Ours starts at a drunken night in my kitchen. My neighbour Chris, who we'd only met about a year ago once we moved in, he used to play golf for England when he was 16. So he's pretty good. Me, I'm not so good. One Saturday night, we're in our kitchen and he was talking about how much he enjoyed playing golf with me, primarily because I wasn't very good and therefore he had no expectations from his round. But it was nice to get out there and just sharpen the senses a little bit. He said he was looking for a new challenge, something different to do. And he came up with this idea, after quite a few bottles of wine, that he wanted to play the top 100 golf courses in the UK and Ireland. I thought, that'd be brilliant. What a great thing to do. We're in for the long haul where we live. School's really, really close. Neighbours are great. We've got plenty of time to do this. And that's when Chris hit me with a curveball. He wanted to do all of those courses in the next 10 years. A few more chats, a few more glasses of wine, and eventually we both agreed we were going to do it. I mean, it's realistic, isn't it? 100 courses in 10 years, that's 10 a year. This is doable. So, all excited, the next day, I opened Google Maps and I started plotting the top 100 golf courses. So, we started looking at the map, and a lot of it's clustered up towards Scotland. So we thought, great, we've got a good location here. We live in Manchester. Easy to travel to Scotland to get to these courses. There are a few clustered around us in the northwest as well. So courses like Birkdale, you've got Southport and Ainsdale, you've got West Lancs, Delamere Forest, and then a couple in Cumbria as well. And that's where Chris is from. So we thought, great, we can do this. We might have some contacts that we can speak to get onto some of the courses. And this is what this podcast is all about. It's capturing the journey that we're on. Can two very average golfers now somehow manage to navigate their way around some of the most iconic golf courses in the country? I mean, we're talking open venues, we're talking Ryder Cup venues, we're talking places that are just etched into the history of golf. Of course, you've got places like St Andrews, which is the home of golf, but places like Royal Birkdale, which I've had the privilege of playing once before, a couple of times before. There's a friend of mine, Dave, he's a member, who was also fortunate enough to get married there, but more on that when we get to the Birkdale episode, fingers crossed. But you've got moments that are absolutely etched into the history of golf, like when Spieth sprayed his tee shot sort of 4 fairways wide into the driving range at Birkdale. You've got Baker Finch's iconic pink last day t-shirt that he wore, or shirt I should say he wore, to win the Open. So all these kind of things are kind of really iconic moments in golf history, and we just want to be part of that. We thought it'd be absolutely brilliant to do. And this podcast is about documenting that journey and how we go about doing it. We're doing it for ourselves. You know, we've got young children, sort of aged 7, 4 and 2 respectively. And, we want something that they can remember of this journey. We hope our 4 kids, so Chris has got 2 girls and I've got 2 boys. They're starting to show a bit of an interest in golf now. So we're hoping that at some point they can join us on our journey. I'm certainly hoping the older ones, because they'll be 17 by the time I get into the end part. And it'd be a really nice record for them to look back on. It'd be really nice for me and Chris. I do all the collecting type stuff. I collect all the little ball markers from all the courses. I collect the scorecard. So I do things like that. I can definitely tell Chris isn't into that as much. However, that's I suppose that's for me. But we did decide that we'd have a few ground rules about how we go about so that this challenge, so that it doesn't become all encompassing. So the first one was, as I said, we've got our kids. We've got very understanding of halves who let us go out play golf. And we just wanted to be there for our families still. They're at a great age, the children, where we want to know and learn everything about them. They still adore us at the minute. So we don't want to lose out on time with them. So we've got to get that balancing act right. That might mean that we cluster a few of the courses together or however we do it. But we made a hard and fast rule about that. The second thing we wanted to do with the podcast was making sure that the episodes were short. We want to keep it fun for us as well and be able to do it over 10 years. And if we make a promise to ourselves that we'll keep them short and we'll keep them snappy, which is difficult for me, I do ramble quite a bit. But if we can do that, it'll be fun and we'll keep wanting to do it. And thirdly, we didn't want to do any filming on course. We both play just for the joy of playing golf. We love standing on the tee, overlooking a great hole. It might be in a great location, it might be coastal, it might be at the top of a hill, it might be at the bottom of a hill, and just taking in the view and soaking in that atmosphere. And with some of these golf courses that we're going to play, it's soaking in the history of golf as well. A lot of them remain unchanged for 100 years, or certainly the holes are unchanged. And if there have been iconic tee shots, iconic approach shots, you're playing that same track. And a friend of mine once said, Dave, actually, who's the member at Birkdale, he said, there are no sports really where you can play exactly the same arena as the guys that you see on TV do. And that's what we're there to enjoy, because we are going to be playing some of the most, I keep saying it, we're going to be playing the most iconic golf courses in the world, and we really want to soak that up. So we don't want to ruin that by trying to create content and film while we're doing it. So the other thing we finally wanted to get through on our podcast was just some of the people that we know we're going to be playing golf with. Golfers are a really chatty bunch, really like to share their insights, cool things that they've done, advice when we're playing. We'd love to actually play a lot of the courses. We may end up playing a lot of them on our own, but we'd love to play a lot of them with members if we can, because you get to kind of know about the course a little bit more. You get a few of the secrets. You get some stories about the courses. So we kind of want to do all of that, and we want to get them in as guest hosts wherever we can. And that's our podcast, really. So we're going to keep you updated with the journey as we go through it. New updates. Weirdly, winter's probably going to be our more active time, because one of the things we realised is that some of these golf courses are going to be very expensive to play, and winter time affords us a bit of a better time to play them because it's a bit easier on the wallet. So that'll be a nice test of our patience with it all, playing winter links golf. However, got the waterproofs at the ready. We've got the golf shoes at the ready. We've got all of our waterproof gloves and things at the ready. And we're just really looking forward to doing this journey. And more importantly, finding out the clock is ticking. We have 10 years to try and finish this challenge and finish this task. Let's see if we can do it. Next time on the Top 110 Golf Podcast. Can a couple of rank amateur golfers really play the top 100 golf courses in the UK and Ireland,